With Forza Horizon 6 right around the corner, I think it's a good time to take a look at a few vehicles that I think really need an update in the Forza Horizon series. Some of these vehicles use outdated models, while others are just plain rough in terms of quality. So let's start with the first vehicle. The first vehicle I want to talk about is the 2000 Nissan Silvia Spec R, aka the S15. This car is pretty infamous for being really inaccurate compared to the real vehicle, mainly because its in-game model actually dates all the way back to the original Forza Motorsport on the original Xbox, which was released about 20 years ago now. As you can see from these images, the car itself is pretty inaccurate, almost to a comical level. It makes sense, however, since this model was made way back before 2005, before Forza Motorsport was even released. Back then they were basically building models from reference photos instead of proper scans like they use now, so obviously some inaccuracy was inevitable. Unfortunately, it just has never been updated since then, at least not yet anyway. I think it's very likely that the S15 will finally get a proper update in Forza Horizon 6. With the game being set in Japan, it definitely would be embarrassing to include such an iconic JDM car in its old inaccurate form. So yeah, nothing's obviously confirmed yet, but I would say that there's a very good chance that this vehicle will be updated for Forza Horizon 6, and I really do hope it is, because it definitely needs an update. The next vehicle on this list is the 1991 Honda CX-R SIR. I've already talked about this vehicle in my disappointing cars video, and yes, it's back here again for the same reason. Its body kits. This car does technically have two body kits, but both of them don't have side skirt options, and that's exactly why I think this vehicle needs an update. As far as I know, this has never had the side skirt options since it first showed up in the Forza series, which is pretty disappointing. I don't think the model itself needs to be redone, it actually holds up pretty well. But in my opinion, they should definitely update it, or at least add the missing side skirts to the vehicle, or maybe even give us some new kits as well. I'm pretty sure there are some new kits that they could acquire for this vehicle. Either way, I definitely would like to see these side skirts get added to this vehicle, because it seems kind of ridiculous that this vehicle just doesn't have any side skirt options, even though it's got the front and rear bumpers. I also really don't want to see these kits removed either, because I do think they are actually pretty cool and they could look great if they had proper side skirts, but as it stands, this vehicle just looks really awkward, and I really hope that they do fix this vehicle at some point, because it would be pretty cool driving this vehicle around with a full body kit on. Another vehicle that really needs an update is the 1997 Mazda RX7. This one's actually pretty simple really. For whatever reason, this car doesn't have a rear wing. As you can see on this image, this is what it's supposed to look like with the rear wing, but unfortunately the Forza model doesn't have a rear wing, so it doesn't look like this for some reason. I'm not entirely sure how this happened. I guess maybe it's some sort of bug, or maybe they just didn't model it with the rear wing. However, I definitely would like to see this vehicle get fixed. Ideally, they need to give it a new rear wing, or maybe even a full remodel, as I'm pretty sure this model actually dates all the way back to Forza Motorsport 2. So hopefully this vehicle will receive an update at some point over Forza Horizon 6's lifespan, if not at launch, hopefully for an update or something. So yeah, hopefully this vehicle will be updated at some point. The next vehicle on this list is going to be the Dodge Durango Hellcat. Now this one itself isn't actually outdated or anything, as this vehicle was only released in Forza Horizon 5, but unfortunately it's also not a great vehicle. If you put certain aftermarket wheels on this vehicle, parts of the brakes will actually clip through the wheels, which certainly looks weird and kind of sloppy. On top of that, there's a complete lack of off-road customization for this vehicle, which is kind of strange considering how the non-Hellcat SRT version has a ton of off-road customization options, including a wide body kit. I think this one just needs a proper update, fix the brakes clipping through the wheels and add some off-road parts. There's a good chance that the Hellcat version will actually replace the standard SRT model in Forza Horizon 6, so hopefully they will address these issues. If not, then it would definitely be disappointing to see the same problems carry over into the next game. The next vehicle on this list is going to be the Toyota Chaser GT. The model itself is fine, as it was only added in Forza Horizon 5, but the problem is the lack of customization. Aside from a pretty awful looking wide body kit, there's basically nothing else you can actually do to this vehicle. I really would like to see more body kit options for this vehicle, proper front and rear bumpers, side skirts, and actually some spoilers as well, because right now the only spoiler available is obviously the generic Forza Aero wing, which doesn't look that good. Hopefully in Forza Horizon 6 this one gets some visual upgrades, because it definitely deserves more variety when it comes to visuals and customization. I definitely would like to see a body kit for this vehicle, or at least some spoilers I suppose. So yeah, hopefully this one will be updated for Forza Horizon 6. The next vehicle on this list is the 2004 Honda Civic Type R. This one is pretty simple again, it's just another outdated model from Forza Motorsport 2. However, this one, they have somehow managed to mix two versions of this vehicle into one. The early pre-facelift version of this vehicle and the later facelift model. It just ends up feeling like a weird Frankenstein version of the Honda Civic. Yeah, I don't know how they managed to do that. Regardless, I definitely would like to see this vehicle receive a new updated model. It seems fitting as this vehicle is actually becoming a future classic in my opinion. So yeah, hopefully in Forza Horizon 6 this vehicle will receive a new model. The final vehicle on this list is going to be the Vauxhall Monaro. Unfortunately, this is another case of a really poorly modelled car that dates all the way back to Forza Motorsport 2. There's quite a few in this video. Yeah, this model just looks off, the proportions and details are kind of weird and it really shows its age. Hopefully Forza Horizon 6 will finally update this model, because this car honestly deserves more respect, as I'm pretty sure this is a pretty rare vehicle in video games. As far as I know, this is the only video game where the Vauxhall Monaro even appears, aside from maybe some on the PlayStation 2 or something. I don't think this car's in Gran Turismo, I don't think this car's in any other racing games, so yeah, it's a pretty rare vehicle in a racing game. So hopefully it will receive some proper attention in Forza Horizon 6. It's a cool and unique car that definitely deserves better treatment in the series. So I think that's going to be it for this video. Obviously there are a bunch of other cars that I haven't mentioned yet, so they'll probably will make a part 2 to this video at some point. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments which vehicle you think should be included in the next list. I'm sure there are quite a few vehicles that I forgot about. Anyway, thanks for watching and hopefully I'll see you next time.